John Lusky of Lusk Archery Adventures. Series testing, successful hunting. I've got another budget broadhead test for you. Every once in a while, I just go through Amazon and try to find some budget broadhead that I think might be good and see whether it's really good value or if it's a total bust. And so I've tested some by Keaup in the past, especially their lighted nocks. They've been really good. But today I'm going to be testing their 2-blade slip cam all steel broadhead. And for this test, I'm going to be using my regimen for 2025. And for a detailed description of that, please check out the video that I posted earlier this year called 2025 Broadhead Test Process, and it'll explain it all to you. And for most of the shooting, I'm using my Elite Carbon Eon. That man is like my favorite bow in a long time. And for the flight testing, I'm using my Killer Instinct LogiX435 crossbow. For all the arrows and bolts, I'm using Bishop archery stuff because it's really top tier. Hey, let's zoom on in here, go through some of the design features and specifications, and then put this broadhead to the test. Here's a good look at this Keaup broadhead. It's just a basic slip cam design 2-blade head, and it's all steel ferrule and steel blades. The blades are 0.036 inches thick. That's how they're described. By my measurements, it was 0.033 inches thick, but still, pretty standard thickness there. There's no O-ring. The blades are just held tightly in place by this little internal friction mechanism, and you do have to close them pretty hard to make sure they snap into place there at the base. I use one of those little non-cutting gloves or finger gloves to really squeeze them down to make sure they hold in place. And the length overall is 1.5 inches beyond the end of your arrow there. And what happens is, as it impacts a medium, boom, right there, it impacts the hide or whatever it's hitting, and that forces these blades open to their full cutting diameter of 2 inches. So they're 2 inches of cut with the main blades cutting diameter, and then 1/4 inch cross cut there with a tip. So 2¼ inches of cut. Pretty basic design, but man, for the price, they come 6 in a pack. There's something really worth considering if they do well, and that's yet to be seen. And as for resharpening these, I would use the Stay Sharp guide called The Answer. That's a new one they've come out with. It works really good on broadheads that are otherwise be really difficult to sharpen. So Stay Sharp guide, The Answer, would work really good on this one. So really looking forward to putting this head to the test and seeing how it performs. The Keaup just clipped the 10 ring. It took 142 grams of force to cut through the wire, which is a 10 on a 10-point scale, plus a proportional bonus of 0.58 points for being under the threshold of 200. It penetrated right at 7 inches. I know it doesn't look like that from the view of the lens here, but that's what it did. And it opened on impact and stayed open the entire time. Here you can see the impact where it fully opened. And then here it is with the blades and the wound channel open the entire time. It took an additional 13 grams of force to cut through the wire, which is a 9.74 on a 10-point scale. Additionally, it's going to get an extra bonus of 2 points for both the sharpness and the edge retention being under the threshold of 200. It penetrated through 55 layers, which is a 7.86 on a 10-point scale. Here it is after the 3 shots through the MDF, and it held up very well, except internally there's a little bit of damage in the way the blades are held in place. It takes a little bit more effort to close them than it did before these 3 shots. They still do open and close, but not quite as readily as they did initially. Here it is after 2 shots through the steel plate. After the first shot, the blades were still in very good shape. After the second shot, one of the blades broke off, and you can see the holes that were made there as well. Decent holes in the steel plate and relatively good durability, especially for a mechanical. So here it is after all the durability testing, and actually it did relatively well. Now it doesn't look so good after the impact into the cinder block, but that doesn't concern me so much. It held up really well in the MDF, and then it lost one of the blades on the steel plate, but even that's pretty good compared to most mechanicals. And then into the cinder block, it didn't shatter, it just bent, and it's kind of normal to have a mechanical have this bird of prey look after hitting the cinder block. But it's nice that it didn't break, it didn't fall apart, it just bent. So overall, really impressive durability here. So what'd you think? Man, I tell you what, these are really good broadheads. These are good broadheads at pretty much any price. These are fantastic broadheads at the price that they're being offered. These cost just a little over $4 a piece, like $25 for a pack of 6 of them. So a little over about $4 a piece. And man, I'm telling you, they performed better than some heads I'm testing right now, some mechanical heads that are like 6 or 7 times the price. So this is something really worth checking out. You check out the score sheet and you'll see that it just did not have a big area of weakness. The only concern I would have, and it's a minor one, is when you get a brand like this, an off-brand, though Keaup is really making a name for itself, but the quality control is a little different than some of the higher tier companies. Like what that'll mean is maybe some of them are more difficult to open than others, and you're like, hey, that seems a little harder to open, or it's a little stiffer, things like that. Sometimes it happens, but you get 6 in a pack for the price. Man, you can find like 5 of them that are perfect, you know. And so in this pack of 6, there was like 2 of them that were harder to open than the others. But man, a really good value. I would have no hesitation hunting with these at all. And so if you're looking for something that's really budget minded and you don't care about the politics, you just care about the broadhead and about your budget and stuff, then man, you really ought to look into these on Amazon. Keaup mechanical 2-blade heads. And stay tuned for the overall cumulative score and the corresponding Lusk grade. And also stay tuned for a list of all the discount codes that I can offer just to help save you some money. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you next time.